Russwater RPG, Mass Combat Using Dice. Dice Combat, Optional Rules. Here are a couple of ways to run simple combats using only dice. Using these mechanics can be a fun way to run a fun, fast random encounter or larger mass combat battles with lots of creatures. Random Encounter Minigame. Combat is played on a 1-inch square grid. Each square represents 5 feet. The combatants are represented as die or dice on each square. Most creatures can move 30 feet in a round. Wooden 1-inch blocks can also be used to approximate terrain. A player character is a D20 and has a hit point maximum of 20 HP. Other creatures might be represented by 1 or more dice in a stack on a 1-inch square. Large creatures could be represented by dice stacks over multiple 1-inch squares. These dice values represent both a creature's hit point maximum and also the number and damage of their attacks. For instance, a 1d20 player character has 20 HP and attacks for 1d20, and a stack of 3d6 is a creature with a hit point maximum of 18 HP and 3 attacks of d6 each. Creatures can attack at range if they have a form of range attack. Range attacks made with other creatures in the way are made at disadvantage. Large Army Combat. This is combat system I use for large faction army battles. It uses dice as the representation of units. The units can be D4, D6, D8, D10, D12, or D20. Each side in the battle are going to grab a handful of random dice, approximately 20. A D20 represents the commanders of each side on the battlefield. Convincing units to fight on your side. Each unit/die needs to be convinced to fight on your side. Thuisa Adi. Roll your D20 and the die to be convinced. If your roll is higher than that rolled on the unit die, it is convinced to serve fighting in your army and joins your pool. If you roll the same or lower than the unit die, the unit is not convinced and will not fight for you, so it is discarded. Both sides go through this process until they have a set of units/die to represent their army. Parley before battle. The armies take the field ready to do battle. Each die is placed with its highest number facing up. That is its HP value. When the two armies meet on the battlefield, they parley. They assess who has the stronger army, and the weaker side makes an offer to settle without combat. This might be a number approximately 30% to 40% of the total army's HP total multiplied by 100 GP. For instance, an army of 60 HP in total may offer 2000 GP to walk away without combat. If the offer is not accepted, it is time for battle. Battle. The players go first. On your turn, roll a d20. That is how much you hit for on your turn. You capture and remove that amount of HP of dice from the other side's army. If a dice is wounded but not killed outright, it is changed to the number of HP it has remaining. Each combatant takes turns attacking until one side has only the commander D20 remaining. The commander surrenders. Reparations. Once combat is completed, the victor rolls the surrendered commander D20 dice and doubles its value. Then all the captured dice and adds up the combined number. Dice that roll above half their maximum value are said to have been wounded, and those that roll half their maximum value or below are said to be dead. The defeated army is expected to pay the total rolled number multiplied by 100 GP in reparations to the victor. The victor looks at their defeated allies' die and will pay each die half its maximum value for its valiant service. Dice that roll above half their maximum value are said to have been wounded, and those that roll half their maximum value or below are said to be dead. The remaining winnings is split between the units still alive, including the commander dice.